Well, good morning. So, building another little pond on this diagonal flow, and then the rains came. Let's take a walk, kind of give you an explanation here. This is my diagonal flow, and water was coming out and heading out right out this gate. And I decided to try to see if I could move the water higher. So I dug this little hole here. It doesn't hold water. It soaks water. It's not a pond, but it's currently overflowing. I kind of dug a trench in here, lined it with rock so it wouldn't erode. And by raising the side berm here, I was able to move it all the way down that direction versus about to the left side of the gate. That's going to hydrate all this land. And let's keep walking because I was adding another pond to the system, and I think I had my master plan of what to do next as far as my big full key dam pond that I want to build. But let's see how this is behaving. Anyway, I decided to dig this hole to cushion it for the left turn, so it goes in here and then it starts making a gradual left turn over here. I've got to see what's going on here because I got leakage. Let's go investigate. Okay, I can see what's happening here. So I got this flow going down this way. I never could understand it because we've been wet for probably a month now, and it's always been wet along this fence line where the cows drink their water. And I didn't know where it was coming from, but looks like it's splooging out from right there, so I need to put some more bank berm up on this side to contain it. I mean, the plan was let this water soak in and it would migrate down this way. And looks like most of the water going out the gate right now is from this leakage, so we'll get that fixed. So this is the other pond I'm building, right where it goes underneath the fence. You can see the excavator here. I just did this yesterday. I probably spent 30 minutes on it. But my plan, because the water when it leaves this fence, it's going to still go downhill to the bottom. If you can see the water flowing, that's a low spot. So it's going downhill to intersect there. And from there, it's winding around these cedar elms on its way. It's eroding. A lot of erosion, a lot of exposed roots and stuff over there. So what I decided yesterday as I was looking at this, and I do need to point out that this is a road, or going to be a road, to get to the rest of my land. Anyway, I figured I could put a culvert in right here and shoot it that way and just totally skip these cedar elms. Because this is a high spot, I'm carrying the water higher on my land, but as it's soaking in, you know, it's still going to go downhill for the roots and stuff. And that's a determination I came yesterday. And past these double trees right here in the center of the screen, just past that, maybe 20 yards, is where I plan on having my final pond. I call it my final exam. This is where I build a official pond, key dam, overflow, you know, good, nice, wide overflow. Just a good pond like Zach Weiss would build. Well, all right. Well, here's an update on my pecan swales, waffles. I planted 6 pecan trees down this row right here. Honestly, only one of them survived. A few of them are coming up from the roots, so I can probably graft them and save them. But this is a system where Lake Timmy, I think you can see the cattails over there. When it overflows in a rain event, I got the water directed to come fill these waffle swales to water these pecan trees. I hadn't really been able to see where the water leaves because I haven't had an event where it overflowed everywhere. When I'm at the end of it, and right over here is the last pond I'm building for my diagonal swale before I build the big pond over here. But as you can see here, the water's water's kind of heading straight for where the new pond needs to be, and I've got a little bit heading down this way, which will intersect into that flow. So this water will end up in the pond, and the diagonal flow will end up in the pond. So I think that'll be plenty of water for the pond. But let's walk uphill. I've got a bag of feed with me. I'm feeding the baby cows. We'll go take a look at Lake Timmy, see it overflowing. There's the pecan tree. I did fill most of these with wood chips by viewer recommendation. There's a pecan tree that's coming up from the roots. That's number 2. I guess only planted 4 over here. That's number 3. It's coming up from the roots. You can see the waffle swales. Now I think the 4th one just died and didn't come up from the roots. It was right in here. I don't see any evidence of it. But let's see it flow out of Lake Timmy. And Lake Timmy is being taken over by cattails. Didn't plant them. There's no ponds upstream from me, so it just tells you the power of the seed bank. But you can see there, we've got, I mean, it's currently raining. If the lens is wet, I apologize, but got a lot of, I think it's called Texas Dawn lily pads. I took them out of my sediment pond. I had hundreds of them in there when I had to dig it out. Well, you see the cattails in there. One surprising thing was where the cattails were up against the edge, the cows actually went in there, were eating them. So that was pretty encouraging. But there's Lake Timmy in 2026, and hopefully you noticed how green everything is. Well, this is a few days later, and I am working on my problem area, so I decided to go ahead and add it into this video. As you can see, this is a new hole I dug the day before the rains came. You can see it trickling out over here. So it was so muddy, I didn't want to do a lot of damage. I ended up just to fix this pond up here, I just kind of dug out 4 inches up here to kind of berm it around, and that should stop the water that was coming down and running along the fence down there. In fact, I didn't see any water. If it was still leaking, I would see water in that little dugout area. Anyway, I dug it out here, and then I think I dug a little bit in this channel right here. Anyway, temporarily it's solved. And then I went ahead and tried to redirect this next pond. I'm gonna have to step back a little bit. So it was bermed about right here, and then water was going around that way. So you can see where it's black here. I bermed it. I was basically just pushing the blade of the excavator in here, trying to create an area for it to flow down that path I wanted to. And you can see I've got it kind of pushed all the way down to the pond. And as of right now, you know, the ultimate test is it going to go that way? Right now, from where the pond is, since the water is flowing, I think y'all can see where it's ending over here. And it sure looks downhill the rest of the way, just visualizing it. Maybe where that clump of grass is right there, it'll probably head over to the left and maybe try to poke out there, but that's probably fine because I'm trying to get the water out of these cedar realms. I'm going to take a look at it real quick. I mean, I think you can tell, I think you can see all the erosion. I mean, where there's bare soil, that means it's sweeping everything, including the leaves and sticks and stuff. But this is the area I'm talking about here. If I pan to the left, and you'll see all the exposed roots and stuff. So this is what I'm trying to fix by just running the water on a higher elevation. I think water will still get to the trees through a underground flow. Well, we're another day in. We had almost 2 inches of rain last night, so it's flowing super fast. But I do have a leak, and this is one of those no-nos when you start building a dam. don't put it on grass. Get the sod removed first. But like I said, this is a temporary, or not temporary, but this isn't a official no leak pond. But I'll get the excavator and compact this down whenever it dries out a little bit. But you'll see down here, the middle of the road there, we got a decent amount of flow. Then let me turn around and see how this one's doing. And it's actually making it all the way out. So I'd say probably 3/4 of the water is coming down this way. And my intention was to make a kind of turn it to kind of angle into this pond a little bit cleaner, which that'll have to be rock line, get some enforcement here. But like I said, this was just a temporary ditch to redirect the water flow. We'll armor it up later. Anyway, hopefully this is the last one. Keep getting stuff to add to this video. All right, y'all take care.